Thank you, Mr. President. Mr. President, my esteemed colleagues, I rise today on a matter of personal and collective privilege. Before I start, Mr. President, and with the indulgence of our distinguished colleagues, let me put this one issue away first. The DPWH Undersecretary that I mentioned to have offered our Senate President through his staff to make insertions in the 2026 National Expenditure Program had vehemently denied it to her new boss, Secretary Vince Dizon, and to his face at that. Was actually lying through her teeth. Dapat alam niya na hindi ako basta nagsasalita ng walang katibayan. Ayan po ang resibo, Mr. President, and I quote, para maisama ko po sa NEP, sir. Her words, not mine. Sabi nga ng mga abogado, res ipsa loquitur. The thing speaks for itself. I will now proceed, Mr. President. Exactly 3 weeks ago, I took this floor to expose what I call the flooded gates of corruption, a dam of deceit that is burst open, unleashing the tales of insatiable greed that continue to drown our nation. Simula na mabuksan ang agos ng usapan tungkol sa mga anomalya sa DPWH, bumuhos rin ang katakot-takot na ulat mula sa mga netizens at karaniwang mamamayan na nagmamatsyag sa mga substandard at ghost projects sa iba't ibang dako ng kapuluan. Kasabay ng bugso ng puot ng taong bayan laban sa iba't ibang personalidad na di umano ay sangkot sa pagsasamantala sa kaban ng bayan. Ang halos nagkakaisang sigaw ng lahat. Dapat may managot, dapat may makulong. Our frustrated countrymen cry in unison. Name, shame, and prosecute. We in this august hall share the same frustration, except for the chaos and anarchy in the streets and in some public and private properties, which hopefully will not escalate. It is but right and just that we all demand that heads must roll and those responsible must be put behind bars, whichever agency or office, even those in high towers of power, they may come from. Justice must catch up with these people because enough is enough. Having said that, my office is fully committed to submit the overwhelming loads of reports we receive on substandard and ghost flood control projects to the concerned authorities in view of the forthcoming investigation by the yet-to-be-constituted independent probe body. To this end, we decided not to include the same or similar anomalous flood control projects anymore in my follow-up privilege speech today. Instead, I will focus on sharing with you the various forms of corruption in fine print. Evidence so telling that it will nail the coffin for the summary dismissal and or prosecution of these culprits with a warning that what you are about to see may be hazardous to your health in that it will make your blood boil over the maximum normal systolic and diastolic thresholds. First, how the fruits of corruption are being squandered, albeit partly by these officials, entrusted to protect people's lives and low-lying communities from the devastation caused by typhoons and low-pressure areas. And when I say partly, I do not mean paltry sums of money, Mr. President. Second, how the same officials maneuver and manipulate the processes and procedures involved to collect from unaccomplished or uncompleted, even ghost projects perpetrated by these incorrigible and probably beyond redemption government officials. Unahin po natin ang mga tinaguriang BGC boys. We delve so deeply into the web of corruption involving the culprits behind the notorious Bulacan flood control disaster. Sa lalim po ng inabot ng aming pagsisiyasat, sukdulang nakakarimarim na ang aming nadiskubre. These DPWH officials reached the lowest of the low and the highest of the high in the many corners of casinos across the country. On top of their multi-million peso wristwatches, signature clothes, and sneakers and whatever else lavish lifestyles, these 5 erstwhile DPWH officials of the Bulacan First District Engineering Office gained them a moniker, BGC Boys. Not Bonifacio Global City Boys, Mr. President, but rather the Bulacan group of contractors as they have been known to casino employees. Hindi tambay ng high street sa BGC ang mga ito. Hell Street siguro, Mr. President. At siyempre, nagtatago sa mga aliases ang BGC Boys. Let me do a roll call, complete with valid identification cards like driver's licenses from the Land Transportation Office, but this is a separate matter to be investigated, my distinguished colleagues. Ang kakasibak lamang na DPWH OIC Assistant Regional Director ng Region 4A at dating District Engineer ng Bulacan na si Henry Alcantara, alias Joseph Castro Villegas. OIC District Engineer ng Bulacan, 1st District, Bryce Erickson G. Hernandez, alias Marvin Santos de Guzman. Assistant District Engineer, JP D. Mendoza, alias PJ Castro Asuncion. DPWH Engineer 2, RJ Dumasic, introducing himself as a contractor from Sims Trading Corporation with alias Sandro Bernardo Park at Edric San Diego as himself. They may hide their identities, but having spent practically all my law enforcement years conducting intelligence and investigative work, I know criminals when I see them. No matter how real-looking their IDs are, no matter how long they were able to thrive in the shadows, no one can shield them from the day of reckoning that they deserve. Lalong-lalo na kung lagtaran at walang pakundangan na ang pagnanakaw at paglustay ng kaban ng bayan, Mr. President. Base sa mga dokumentong nakalap namin mula sa PAGCOR, malulula tayo sa laki ng halagang naging talo sa kasino ng 5 ito. 950 million in gross losses, Mr. President. Base ang mga ito sa official at validated na record mula mismo sa 13 kasino sa Metro Manila, Cebu at Pampanga. Halimbawa, itong si former Assistant District Engineer at OIC District Engineer Bryce Hernandez alias Marvin Santos de Guzman, mayroong combined gross losses sa mga kasino na 435 million pesos. Halos hindi sila nagkakalayo ng OIC Assistant District Engineer niya na si JP Mendoza alias PJ Castro Asuncion na may 418 million pesos sa nakabuwang talo sa iba't ibang mga kasino. Ang former district engineer na si Henry Alcantara na hindi naman tumanggi na pumapasok at nagsusugal sa kasino ay nakapagpatalo ng 68,000 pesos pero bilang Henry Alcantara lamang yan. Ang mas malaking bulto ng kanyang talo habang nagtatago sa kanyang alias na Joseph Castro Villegas ay tumataginting na 36.7 million pesos in gross losses. Hindi rin natin sinasantabi ang milyones na pinatalo ng mga DPW's employees na nagpapanggap na contractors na sina Project Engineer RJ Dumasig alias Sandro Bernardo Park na may gross losses na 16.9 million at Edric San Diego alias himself or as himself na may losses na 42.4 million pesos. Akala siguro ng mga ito ay maaari silang manatiling multo o incognito. Ito ay isa lamang sa tambak na pagkakamali nila, Ginoong Pangulo. Interestingly, mukhang may kakaibang milagro ang dumapo sa tropang BGC Boys sa isang kasino sa Newport World Resort sa Pasay, kung saan sila ay tumabo ng 100 milyong pisong panalo mula August 31, 2023 hanggang April 4, 2024. Henry Alcantara, 4.7 million pesos. Bryce Erickson Hernandez, 189 million pesos. JP Mendoza, 320 million pesos. RJ Dumasig, 7.37 million pesos. Edric San Diego, 11.7 million pesos. Sinuwerto nga ba sabay-sabay na nanalo ang mga ito, Mr. President? O baka naman money laundering scheme? May report kami at ito ay amin pang binabalidate na peke lang ang pagdeklara nilang panalo. How so? Magpapalit ng cash into casino chips. Pero pag natalo ng kaunti, pupunta sa cashier para mag-cash out at ideklarang panalo ang pinagpalitan nilang chips. Smart? Your guess at this point is as good as mine. Sa Okada naman, may nakarecord na one gaming activity mula October 17 to 18, 2022, sina Henry Alcantara, Bryce Hernandez, RJ Dumasig at JP Mendoza na kung saan, maliban kay Henry Alcantara na nanalo ng 301,000 pesos, umuwing talunan ang ibang BGC boys dahil sa total losses na 1.75 million pesos. Mr. President, let me show you the record of cash to chips and chips to cash transactions of the BGC boys sa mga kasino na pinasyalan nila mula taong 2023 hanggang 2025. Henry Alcantara, alias Joseph Castro Villegas, cash to chips, 1.1 billion, 428 million, 170,000. Yes, Mr. President, you heard it right, my dear colleagues. B as in billion, hindi M or million. Cash to chips, 997 million, 765,000 pesos. Bryce Hernandez, alias Marvin Santos de Guzman, cash to chips, 659 million, 910,000 pesos. Chips to cash, 1 billion, 385 million, 360,250 pesos. JP de Guzman, alias PJ Asuncion, cash to chips from 2023 to 2024, 26 million, 500,000. Cash to chips, 2023 and 2024, 280 million, 93,500 pesos. In this regard, my office has submitted their names and aliases to the Anti-Money Laundering Council since casinos are covered persons under the amended Anti-Money Laundering Act. Hindi pa po dito nagtatapos, Mr. President, ang kanilang mga kabulastugan. Sa aking naunang privilege speech noong August 20, 2025, nauna ko na